everyone, it's Manera, and we are back again for another color along from volume 19. Actually, today is the last color along from Color Along Variety Book, volume 19. So this is a huge milestone. So let's see, 19 volumes times 22. You do the math. How many are we up to? I don't know. You tell me. This page can also be found in my coloring book, Winter Beauty, which is available on my website as a PDF. So, Grayscale. Let's talk about Grayscale. Colored pencils today. I'm using kind of a, a hodgepodge of colored pencils. I've got a Beryl colorific pencil here. And it's kind of my hodgepodge box, I call it. It's pencils I've had for a very long time, all different brands. They're all kind of mixed together. I don't know. Some people have other boxes like that they call different things. So I'm going to color on top of this railing with some brown, light pressure. And if you're coloring Grayscale and you're new to Grayscale, what you always want to remember is that you always color each of the objects or the sections in the direction of the actual object. Use the same pressure, follow the lights and the darks, and you want your end result to look like you have colored a Grayscale page. You do not want it to look like you colored like line art. You don't want it to look like it has, like for example, the railing here of this part right here. See how there's a lot of white in there? Well, I want to just color it the same pressure all across. And what will happen is that white will shine through. And so rather than coloring that really opaque, you want it to be a little bit translucent, transparent. And you want to go in the direction of what you're coloring. So here's these vertical rails. And then there's the horizontal rails. Again, vertical, this is going back. Vertical, this is going back. And then we're going to go back in with a really sharp black pencil and really kind of highlight, or low light as I like to call it, all of that area. So again, right here in that direction, this part is just kind of a square. And here we are with this section here. Here's kind of like the underside. But because that's already kind of a dark gray, it's going to look like that for us. We don't have to worry about making that happen. And I'm not going across this railing right here with these vertical posts. I'm just kind of giving it a light pressure. Now, the biggest challenge for this page is the snow. And when you think about snow, let's talk about snow as we're coloring this part here. When you think about snow, snow acts like a prism. And it acts like it's reflecting all the colors around us. And sometimes the more condensed the snow is, the bluer it looks. Has anyone ever noticed that? Let's get the deck right here behind the snow. I'm going to go on and color it in a horizontal way, horizontal direction. Do you ever notice sometimes if you live in an area where it snows? I do. Where it has kind of like a dense, the denseness of it is very, very blue. Why does that happen? It happens because of the color that is formed within the snow itself as it's coming together. So to me, it reminds me of thinking of it as each little snowflake has fallen, and say each snowflake is a light blue. This is a really rudimentary, simple way of explaining this. This is how I like to think about it. So here come all of these tiny little light snowflakes, and now they're really packed, and it's a wet, heavy snow. You know that kind of snow where it's wet and heavy, and it's, a pain in the neck to shovel, and just is moist, and, the whole bit. So that kind of snow is going to kind of look, when you look up close, that it looks like it almost has windshield washer fluid in it. Let me know in the comments if you've ever experienced this type of snow. Let me know if you'd like to experience it. I could pack it up and send it to you this winter. I mean, should we start shipping snow to our southern friends? I'm not really sure. Okay, so the other part about snow is that it reflects what's around it, And so imagine the sun shining down on this, and it kind of creates a little bit of a prism. So I went around over here with this sharp black brown, and I took care of all of that section there with those trees. Now I have this light blue, and here is like an icy area, and I'm going to color it very ever so lightly with this light blue. So some of the colors that I like to get involved with, some of the colors I like to have a serious relationship with are, for snow, are lavenders and blues. Now in here is kind of like an icy little, you know, body of water. But see this part right here? That still kind of has that little bit of ice on top of it. Light, light, light. I'm coloring it very, very, very light back there with this light blue. This is actually, oh, I don't even know the name of this pencil, because look at this. It has paint on it, so I don't even know what this is. It's a very sharp pencil, by the way. So I'm not really sure what that is. But look how it's already kind of taking on the feel of, let's just kind of like an icy little water. Now let's take a look at this gray color. Now I know, Grayscale, why are we going to use this as gray? This is actually one of my favorite pencils. I don't even think they make these anymore. This is a French gray color. And I'm going to go back in over this where those little dark sections are, and we're going to go back in there with a dark black pencil too. But let's hit this with a little bit of gray. Just a tiny bit, not that much. Subtle. Just a subtle section. You just want to kind of color each one with a little bit of color. Now, when you're coloring Grayscale, wherever it is extremely, extremely white, like for example, right here is very, very white, I'm going to actually leave that extremely white. So let's see if I have, I know I have it. This is a lavender color. Just give this a quick sharpen in my Boston pencil sharpener. Okay. Actually, this is not the color that I would like. I know there's a color in this Castle pencil set I have, Castle Arts. I saw it earlier, so I'm going to use this one. So this is actually called Mauve. Give it a little bit of a sharpen. And this is what I'm going to use for my snow. And I'm going to use it here on the bridge. I wanted to call it on the deck. And I'm going to color right across all of this. Now, I'm going on top of the light and the dark sections. I'm going across the whole thing. What we're going to do next is we're going to go back in with a very sharp black pencil. And we're going to just kind of accent different sections of it. Now, you can barely see it. You can barely see the purple, but you can see the purple. It's weird, right? Back here. Now look at this. This part here is totally different than down here. But because I add the same color and really kind of say, okay, I really want to allow the lights and the darks to be part of it, and I want to walk away and say, like even up here, it's got the reflection of this railing up here, and I'm not going to do anything to the back. I'm going to leave it the way it is. We do have that tree back there. I'm leaving it. I'm going to leave it as blurry as blurry can be. All right, now here comes the fancy part. We're going to take this very sharp Beryl colorific pencil. This is kind of a sharp lead. Sharp lead. Kind of like a hard lead. Hard is what I meant to say. And I'm just going to kind of give it a little bit of black in here. So where it meets the railing, meets the deck, meets the floor of the bridge. And again here, we don't want to outline it, but we do want to kind of place that little bit of black underneath. This way it'll make it look like it's underneath. Does that make sense? And sometimes it's the unfinished line that's important. And I'm just kind of giving it a little bit of something there. And now I am going to do the same thing on this side. Just kind of adding a little bit of a dark color. but not outlining it completely. And see these little like in-betweens of the deck, of the bridge, the boards, inside those. It's kind of a little bit of black in here, underneath there, just kind of a tiny bit, just a little bit of a touch to it. Now, we've got this snow going on. So I'm seeing where there's like little pieces of black here. You can kind of see it. We want to add some black with our sharp point. This isn't even sharp enough. Right here. Because we want this railing to look like it's in the snow. And then we've got this part here. Again, where the water meets the land. We want that to be defined, you know. And we can kind of put a little bit of, some little bit of grassy little lines right here with our black. Just kind of like, you know, you can kind of see them back there. Kind of go a little bit darker at the bottom of these trees. And then maybe a little bit on top of these branches, but you could really just kind of say, okay, well, there's our branches there, the lines that are part of the actual grayscale photograph. Just kind of going on top of them a little bit. Now, here we go with this part of the bridge. We're just going to kind of just touch upon all of this little, you know, this little section of where it's darker. Because that's where someone stepped. Look at this. Here's a footprint right here. Again here. Just so it becomes darker as we're moving. I can't believe that this is the last color along from this book and that we're about to embark on volume 20. Volume 20 is going to begin on November 7th. I'm super excited about it. You can only get that book on my website. It's the 20th volume. It's a huge, it's a deal because it's only $8.99 for the PDF, and or you can get the printed version, which I'm printing right here in my studio. So it's the 20th volume. I can't believe it. And new color alongs get posted every Monday and Thursday at 10 a.m. Eastern time, right here on my YouTube, on my YouTube channel. On my YouTube channel. All right, so let's get underneath here. Now, see, there's a little bit of like little kind of grass sticking through there. Maybe the snow started to melt again here, a little bit here. And that's why you want to have a really sharp point. Again here, just kind of adding, it's just some accents. You're not coloring the whole area black, but we're just kind of adding a little bit of an accent. So you really want the grays to shine through. You really want them to kind of, you know, be present. You don't want to look at this page when you're done and say, is that a grayscale page? I'm not so sure. You want to be sure this is a grayscale page. And this page is officially complete. I love it. I do. It's so subtle. And I think that it's a lot of fun to color. So thank you so much for joining me today, and especially thank you so much for following me throughout this entire volume of this book, of the Color Along series. And I'll see everyone back again on November 7th as we begin the new volume of the Color Along series, volume 20. Thanks so much for watching, and have a great day.